Okay, this one is kind of important, folks. When engaging ride sharing, if you got an Uber or Lyft passenger in your vehicle that is vocally unhappy about the route you're taking to get them to your destination, it is super important that you address that immediately. It could mean your life. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another unfortunate ride share video. We're bringing this to you because a driver almost ended up getting murdered based on the advice we're going to be talking about here, based on a passenger simply suggesting you're not taking the shortest destination to get me from point A to point B.
Lafayette police are searching for a woman accused of kidnapping her Lyft driver.
According to authorities, the suspect also had her 5-year-old son in the vehicle when she pointed a gun at the driver's head.
The News 10's Britt LaFaso tells us how the rideshare driver managed to escape. Britt.
Dalbert and Darla, this is who police are looking for. 37-year-old Denise Thomas. It's also who this very lucky Lyft driver managed to escape from after allegedly being held at gunpoint in his own vehicle.
According to Lafayette police, the nightmare for the Lyft driver began when he picked up a woman, 37-year-old Denise Thomas, and her 5-year-old son on North University Avenue. Sergeant Robin Green with Lafayette Police says the driver gave Thomas his phone and she put in the address where she wanted to be dropped off.
So the suspect at the time became annoyed because the direction that the Lyft driver was driving at the time was not the direction that she wished to go in. The suspect produced a handgun and pointed it at the Lyft driver while he was driving off Ponte Mouton Road and basically told him that you need to bring me home, which the Lyft driver was bringing the suspect home. He was just following the GPS that was provided by his cell phone. At that time, the Lyft driver became afraid and tried to get the gun out of the suspect's hand.
But he couldn't do it, so the Lyft driver did the only thing he could think of.
The Lyft driver purposefully crashes his car into this ditch, and he is finally able to escape. He then flags down somebody passing by, gets them to bring him to the nearest business, and that's when he was finally able to call 911.
By the time officers had arrived, Thomas, along with her 5-year-old son, were gone.
He did what he could do, and that was going off the road, which could have ended deadly, depending on if the gun would have went off during the crash. You just never know.
As ride-sharing becomes more popular, Sergeant Green says drivers should be careful and keep stories like these in mind.
Because you don't know the individuals that you're picking up and who's getting inside of your car. You don't know their histories. You don't know if they're dealing with something at the time whenever they get in the car, whether there's a mental crisis or they just got into an argument with a family member. You just never know who's getting inside of your vehicle.
Again, there is a warrant out for the arrest of this woman, 37-year-old Denise Thomas, for aggravated kidnapping. If you know where she is, contact Lafayette Police. Britt LaFaso, KLFY News 10.
Should we always talk about the dangers generally drivers face coming from young black males? Well, here's a woman doing it, but 37 years of age with a 5-year-old kid in the car, and she's holding the driver at gunpoint over the route he's taking. Now, as we talked about in the beginning of the video, it is very important. If you get a passenger in your vehicle and they're voicing vocal complaints about something you're doing, you need to nip that shit in the bud immediately, because he can and does often spiral out of control. We've already covered 2 stories recently of drivers being murdered simply because the passenger thought they were taking him to a different destination. We covered a driver down in Texas that was shot in the back of the head and killed because the female in his car thought he was trying to secretly take her to Mexico. Another driver down in Georgia who was out of his rabbit-ass mind, of off-duty Atlanta police officer, of all people, on drugs, thinking the driver was trying to take him to some type of gay fraternity, and he murdered that driver as well. So if you have a passenger in your vehicle that's screaming about the way you're driving, you need to address that ASAP. Don't continue driving hoping to get that person to their destination so that you can get them the hell out of your car. You may not have that much time. Now, in this case, the driver apparently gave the passenger his phone so that she could put her address in there. She was bitching about it that much. First of all, don't ever give a passenger your phone. Two reasons. One, they may steal your phone. Despite the technology we have in 2024, apparently it's still profitable to take somebody's phone off of them. The phone carriers won't do us a solid and just simply refuse to reactivate a phone that's been reported stolen. So apparently you still can profit by stealing somebody's damn phone. So don't give somebody your phone, because we do get a lot of passengers. Can I use your phone? I need to make a phone call. How the hell did you book the trip if you don't have a phone? So don't hand nobody your phone. It's a bad idea. Number two reason, if you hand somebody your phone and some shit kicks off, you have no way to summon help. So it is highly unadvisable to give your phone. Now, in response to my comment of how the hell you booked the trip, we do know other folks book trips for passengers all the time. I'm no fan of that. If you're going to tell the passengers to verify us drivers by our faces, by the license plate on our car, by the type of car it is entirely, why the hell can't we verify the people getting in the vehicle? If you let your sister book a trip for you, when I show up to pick you up, I got a picture of your sister on my phone. That shouldn't be allowed. I couldn't let my sister drive to pick you up because I have to be the face that's on your phone. So that's really unfair for drivers. But that's not what we're talking about today, but that is unfair as well, and that could be a whole nother video. But in this case, 37-year-old woman pulls a gun out on the driver all over him allegedly taking the wrong directions or the wrong route that she thought. What a kid in the car. So I'm assuming maybe there was some mental illness here. The story doesn't tell you, the video here doesn't tell you the fact that she has been captured. She's been charged with kidnapping. She's been held on a $75,000 bond. So she is sitting in lockup somewhere, and hopefully her ass stays there for quite a while. You see the sheriff make a words to live by statement. You just never know who's getting inside your vehicle. Damn, that's right. That is damn sure right. But in this case, the reason why I wanted to bring the video to you, simply put, if somebody's bitching about what you're doing with your vehicle, how you're getting up to point A to point B, the music's too loud or something like that, you need to nip that in the bud immediately. If you got to stop the car and demand they get out, whatever the case may be, if you want to de-escalate it, maybe you turn your radio down. In terms of her yelling that he don't know where the hell he's going with the directions, I wouldn't give her my phone. You know what I would do? I would have her tell me step by step how to get there. Every intersection, should I turn here? Where should I turn in next? I want to make sure, because my phone, apparently the GPS is not right, ma'am. So let me know how to get there. You clearly know because you're bitching about the route I'm taking. So to prevent me from making a mistake, ma'am, and taking too long to get you to your destination. Now, see, I'm turning real submissive because I don't want to get fucking shot. I don't want to get shot. So whatever you got to do to calm these fools down, because apparently there are a hell of a lot of passengers getting in their cars with guns, which would also lead you to realize you're dumb if you're not carrying one as well. Every trip, folks, something to slice or poke with, up to and including a firearm. This is why I'm telling you this, because you're carrying around armed passengers. 37-year-old woman with a 5-year-old packing heat. You wouldn't have thought that when she got in the car, would you? So perhaps you need to match that and be prepared. But in this case, like I stated, you get a passenger that's making all this noise, turn for turn, ask that passenger how to get them to their destination. And if you want to let them know, I don't want to make a mistake, you clearly are upset, or I'm not doing it right, or whatever. That way she ain't got no excuses for why you are taking the wrong route. She's telling you. Obviously, if what she's telling you to do is completely way off from your GPS, you need to get rid of that bitch. That's going to be a different level of addressing that. That's a different thing. Because some passengers will do that as well. Book a $3-4 trip and try to have you drive them on one that normally would have paid $20. All of that is in play in rideshare. We get some shady people. Pulled the gun out on the man because she thought he was taking the wrong destination. So I want to let you guys know, as always, continue carrying your weapons, your defensive tools on you. I'm not supposed to say carry your defensive tools on you, but you know what the hell I'm talking about. What I want to ask you folks before I wrap the video up is this. Have you ever had a passenger get really upset about something you were doing as a driver? I'm curious to see how you handle it, because we do get new prospective drivers watching all the time, and they need to know this shit ain't as rosy as Uber and Lyft often portrays it. But have you ever had a passenger get in your vehicle, you know, just going straight up entitlement, or a Karen type, just demanding you turn the radio down or turn the radio on their station, or maybe you got on talk radio and they don't want to hear about politics or whatever? Have you had somebody get in your vehicle and start making all sorts of demands, turn on the air conditioning in the middle of the winter time or some shit like that? How'd you handle it? Let your boy know in the comments, because this is what we do. Once again, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
For the love of money.